Hello and welcome to our nutrition module. The world of food, nutrition, diets and weight loss can seem completely confusing. Social media is awash with influencers telling us how best to lose weight and giving us advice about buying superfoods and supplements that can help us beat cancer or treat the symptoms of menopause.
It's endlessly confusing and impossible to navigate. There's so much information out there. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. Everyone seems to have an opinion on what we should be eating and the best way to lose weight.
Yes, and be aware that there are lots of extreme views out there too. People are often convinced that their way is the only way.
Weight itself is a contentious issue. The methods used to decide what is a healthy weight are widely debated. Even the fact that there is such a thing as a healthy weight is one that many people also continue to debate.
Additionally, weight alone doesn't in itself define your risk of ill health. For example, you could be overweight but be very active and lead a relatively stress-free life. You might therefore have a lower risk of developing chronic disease than somebody with no weight issues at all who is completely inactive and is suffering from chronic stress. It's not only about weight.
Our emphasis is not on perfection. It's not about being a perfect weight or eating a perfect diet. It's also not about labelling food as good or bad. It's about sharing the most recent evidence about nutrition and about supplying you with the tools that you need to make small changes to your eating. This will allow you to improve in your current habits with the aim of helping you feel healthier day to day. We want to support you to live your life as fully as you can, to create a happy and healthy relationship with food, and to pass on the good habits that you've created to your family.
Having said that, being overweight or obese is a very common reason for preventing people from living the life that they want to lead. There are physical issues and related health problems which may restrict life, such as osteoarthritis of the knees and hips, chronic back pain, type 2 diabetes and heart disease.
From a mental health perspective, obesity is strongly linked to depression. People are commonly on the receiving end of prejudice in relation to their weight, what's also known as weight stigma. And there's a growing realisation that this in itself leads to emotional eating habits and weight gain. Loneliness and being socially isolated can also lead to weight problems, or alternatively, can occur as a result of them.
People may also worry about their future health. There are so many illnesses that are worsened by being overweight and obese that can have an impact on quality and even the length of life. Things like high blood pressure, heart attacks and strokes, sleep apnea, fertility and pregnancy complications, cancer of the bowel, breast and womb, the list just goes on and on.
So if you are stuck in a place of hating your body, being restricted by it, worrying about the future, comfort eating and not knowing where to start, making change can seem like an impossibility. We'll do our best to help you gradually improve your food choices and quantities along with your eating habits.
So what is a healthy weight?
If you go to a healthcare professional to get advice about your weight, they will probably measure your BMI or what's called your body mass index. There are also online calculators that can be used. In general, a BMI of 18.5 to 25 is said to be in the healthy range. 25 to 30 is defined as overweight and over 30 as obese. It does vary a little between ethnic groups.
It's a far from perfect measurement. For example, if you weigh more than expected because you're particularly muscular, it may tell you that you're overweight although you're not. Or if you're elderly with very little muscle mass and more fat, it may underestimate your BMI. It is, however, a useful tool for measurement as it's easy to do and commonly used in the literature and clinical research in relation to disease risk.
Waist circumference is also sometimes used. We know that people who carry more weight around their waist are at higher risk of type 2 diabetes and other metabolic diseases. You may at this stage be thinking that being a healthy weight is so far away from where you are at the moment that it's not even worth contemplating changing your habits, but that is not the case. You definitely don't need to become stick thin to improve your health. A recent study of people with newly diagnosed type 2 diabetes who followed a prescribed diet showed that in those who lost 22 pounds or more, almost 3/4 of them successfully put their diabetes into remission. Or, if you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, we know that losing just 5% of your body weight can significantly improve symptoms. These are just two examples.
Finally, it's important for us to also mention eating disorders, in particular binge eating disorder. It's very common in people who have problems with their weight. Focusing on your diet or following an eating plan can make eating disorders worse rather than better. If you think you might have an eating disorder, these modules might not be the right thing for you. The best thing to do is make arrangements to speak to a doctor.
At the end of the day, our ethos is about having a positive relationship with food.